You took him from me. He loved me.
You were an embarrassment to him. Look at little Goblin Jr.
This is Volume 6 of the top 25 most badass scenes in superhero movies. Yeah, now we're going to be bending our minds, that too without the need of Doctor Strange. The ending of the sequence was quite cool because not only does it portray the crazy potential of reversing time, however, even before that, we got to see both the Flash Boys displaying some intense power and energy. For that particular reason, I love this scene as we see Flash creating thunder tornadoes, lightning bolts, and using them in battle against overpowered Kryptonians. I'll also highlight the part where the young Barry ends Faora. Yeah, that goes on to prove what I said about the Flash's power levels. And to be very honest, I was just happy to see a movie where this character does more than just run. You're in the Justice League, my man. It's the bare minimum for you to fight this way. We've got the final battle from Captain America Brave New World. It's this particular encounter that proves to us the new Captain America can pack a punch, or in this case, pierce with his wing. It's no secret that the Red Hulk was the main draw for Brave New World, and Marvel did whatever they could to market the living daylights out of the casting. It may have been seen as a desperate move, but the Red Hulk didn't disappoint, especially with the number of times he was showing off against Sam. I know that the new Captain America technically neutralizes the Red Hulk here, but Red Wing and those kinetic wings were working overtime to keep our buddy alive. The standout has to be the part where Red Hulk throws a flaming car at Sam and he slices it with his wings in the middle of his dodging. That's a peak moment which somehow reminded me of the stunts from the OG Matrix film. And before I forget, Red Hulk holding Sam by the head and the shot of him looking through his cracked helmet was a super cold visual.
Come and get us.
Next is the final sequence from the final movie in the Venom trilogy. It's not often that you see a character like Venom making the ultimate sacrifice, but man, this sequence hit us really hard, even though it's from a movie that didn't do much otherwise. It could probably be the attachment we have to Tom Hardy's Venom that makes us feel this way, but having said that, the final sequence was a spectacular display of determination and friendship. The Xenophage monsters are amongst the most hideously overpowered creatures I've ever come across.
Oh shit.
But Jesus Christ, Venom was able to absorb not one, but a whole bunch of them. I think it was 5 Xenophages that he managed to hold all by himself, which is nothing short of a miracle, really. Don't forget the fact that these beasts were slicing through symbiotes as if they were chopping vegetables for dinner. So not only was it an emotional farewell, it was also an insanely badass moment. Here's hoping for him to come back, especially if we consider that post-credit scene. Now it's time to heat things up with Ghost Rider.
Reload.
It's safe to say that it doesn't matter where he goes because mayhem is sure to follow. My previous volumes have covered some impressive moments from the character, but I hope you remember the part where he makes a whole freaking crane his flaming weapon. He starts off with some really weird movements that make you wonder if he's hungover from all the souls he's devoured. Eating up all those bullets was definitely badass, although I think the hangover got the better of our man as he puked it all out moments after. Heck, even a bazooka couldn't get him to lie down for a bit. But then our money shot arrives as we see him take control of the crane and turn it into some kind of demonic weapon. Kicking things off is a fight from the recently released The Old Guard 2 on Netflix. While it's mostly blocking between the two fighters, I'll still say that we got some neat moves for a sequel that didn't even have a lot of promotion building up to its release. Andy has already proven her skills, especially in the previous movie. But we got to see some impressive techniques from Quinn, which also happens to be a somewhat unique spelling for a Hollywood character's name. Anyway, the sudden nature of the fight is what works for it, and the fact that they did most of it in a narrow zone makes it more laudable. The Old Guard 2 has, for the most part, not really lived up to its predecessor's name, but I'll give credit where it's due, especially when the ladies show off their fighting skills.
Shut it down.
Alright, it's time to welcome this epic moment from Thunderbolts. I don't think I've covered this scene before, but it's going to be showing up a lot more because we have Sentry going easy on the Dollar Store Avengers. Yeah, that's right. Don't expect me to believe this squad can actually replace the likes of Thor or Iron Man. Well, I don't even need to tell them that because Sentry did while using probably no more than 5% of his power. You know what the craziest thing is here? Sentry had to put in more effort towards ensuring he didn't kill any of the Thunderbolts. He could have easily dropped Alexei off the building, but he brought him back inside. He even allowed his opponents to strike him because an instant counter could have meant instant death. It's one of the most dominant performances I've ever seen in a superhero movie. I like how Bucky thought he could make a difference just by taking off his jacket, only to be slapped away by his own arm. In at number 19 is a crucial scene from Transformers 1. Yes, this is the moment we got the origin of Optimus Prime. He used to go by the name of Orion Pax.
Pax, you need to move out of my way before I move you myself.
And Megatron was just D16, but all of that changes in this final sequence. After taking a hit deliberately to save Sentinel Prime, Orion proves himself worthy of the title of Prime, which is kind of poetic once you learn that the dude voicing him is Chris Hemsworth, the very worthy God of Thunder.
Arise! Optimus Prime.
I also love how Megatron ends up taking his name by force.
I am Megatron!
But Orion is bestowed the name after earning it through his actions. The battle that followed was badass AF. We got to see the true difference in power levels, and eventually Optimus wins quite easily, even though he took a few hits. This is one of the rare occasions where the public fumbled instead of the creators, because how on earth did this movie flop at the box office? Yes, I know it's a contender for the worst film of the decade, but I can't ignore a slaughter in the opera now, can I? I'm not even exaggerating. This is the kind of diabolical stuff that would even make Billy Butcher ask Eric to calm down. Some of the kills here are relentless and just straight up gore fests. Splitting a guy's face or shooting someone through your own body is the kind of hardcore stuff that even the metalheads would want to suggest against. The opera performance in the background is the perfect contrast to the actions we witness in this merciless massacre. Shang-Chi drops by for a solid showing at number 7. He may have been present in the previous volumes via his own merit, but now it's time for the dragons to take over. It's a CGI fest for sure, but the use of visual effects has never been a bad thing as long as the final outcome was good. And let's just say that the battle between the Dweller in Darkness and the Great Protector was a lot better than just good. It feels magnificent and larger than life, not just because of the good guys eventually winning, but also because of how splendid they look while winning. I'd say that it's still Shang-Chi who delivers the final blow, but it wouldn't have made it to the list if the dragons didn't hype us for the duration that led to the decisive strike. Come on now, Marvel execs. Please give us a sequel with Shang-Chi and the Great Protector teaming up again. Hey, Shazam manages to make it to the next entry. He may be a goofy dude in general, but here he's really serious while taking out two birds with one stone. He's technically defeating Calypso and Ladon with a supercharged staff. Billy had no reason to believe he could be resurrected, and yet he sacrificed himself willingly, and his determination shone through in this epic encounter. It's funny that we have two entries back to back with evil dragons in them, that too from the main competitors in the comic book market. Rachel Zegler is in this movie. I know it's such a random thing to say, but I do look at her differently considering how the whole Snow White debacle played out.
There are 206 bones in the human body, 207 if I'm watching Gossip Girl.
Alright, now let's enjoy Deadpool and some nostalgic music. After all, our favourite assassin managed to make NSYNC famous again, and as we'd expect, it's while he slaughters a whole bunch of people as if he's come to a gaming parlor. Seeing Deadpool violently massacre the TVA dudes after their PG treatment in the Loki show is oddly satisfying, and I'm sure you agree with me on that. Also, in the credits, they didn't put the dancer in as a stunt double. He was listed alongside the cast as Dancepool. So it's highly possible that the Deadpool who was dancing wasn't the same Deadpool who was inflicting some of the most gruesome violence ever. Yeah, combining brutality, sick choreography, and Justin Timberlake's smooth voice was absolute cinema. This goes to prove that whenever your studio needs a hit movie, just give everyone another Deadpool sequel.
I am soaking wet right now.
Next up is a movie that many people may not have heard about, but hey, it doesn't matter because there's no need to fear when Hellboy is here. This is a brand that has had a hard time with the audience because while the Ron Perlman films have become cult classics, none of the movies have actually turned a profit at the box office. The same goes for The Crooked Man, but at least we get a badass moment with a cursed python. It's a short moment but has high impact because of all the chaos the python inflicts upon Cora right before getting crushed. It's a creepy sequence for sure, but at least Hellboy makes sure this creature won't kill anyone else again. And yeah, I know his character design is a bit weird, but he's a much younger version of the man we're used to seeing, so I'm going to allow it.
Don't move. What the hell?
Yes, at number 13, the infamous Morbius makes an appearance. Also, it's Morbin and slashing time. Forget the memes and the disastrous box office results despite the re-release, just focus on the first time we see Morbius in action. That display of power and skill was nothing short of badass, and it terrified us all for a brief moment before somebody decided to make a non-existent line go viral. But to be honest, this sure looked like an appropriate visualization of It's Morbin time. It's a shame that the movie couldn't keep up the pace after this transformation because it's the most appealing part of the movie. Side note, I'm quite certain that Patrick Bateman would be jealous looking at Paul turning into a vampire. Hey, maybe Christian Bale could play this character next. He can definitely manage the weight fluctuations.
Jason.
Got shot.
The Eternals are not forgotten as they make up the next entry. Plus, they're making a badass entrance too. While the movie hasn't gained a lot of new fans post-release, there are certain scenes that everyone keeps coming back to, and the opening is a great example of that statement. All of the Eternals show off their powers to us while fighting the Deviants, apart from the non-combat ones, and it's meant for us to understand how they work so well together. Apart from Icarus, who's flexing his laser eyes a bit too much, everyone else is working in groups of 2 and beating the other Deviants. It must be really nice to have such a reliable squad protecting you for thousands of years.
Did not taste good.
This entry has Venom showing up once again, and he's telling us that we should always defeat our enemies, even if we have to eat them. Let There Be Carnage may not be as solid as the first Venom movie, but it did have our favourite symbiote mercilessly chomping down on what was essentially a part of him already. It comes right after an intense final battle.
Let there be carnage.
We need fire.
Or sound.
But the result wasn't technically decided until Venom decides to snatch Carnage away from Cletus Cassidy and eat him right in front of his very eyes. It was pretty dismissive and sassy too, but I can understand why Venom would be upset because of all the damage Carnage caused.
I wanted your friendship.
I'm sorry, Cletus.
This guy.
The top 10 kicks off with an amazing display from the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Here he's defeating Electro with some romantic assistance from Gwen Stacy, who proves that she's more than handy in a final encounter.
You want me to a car? What are you, a caveman?
Shouldn't be here.
You tied me up to go off to war? I know how to help you.
You can't be here right now. I'm not messing around. You can't be here right now. This is insane.
Guess what?
I guess it comes from her dad and the cop car she used to smash into Electro. Anyway, the couple work together to defeat him, but not before Spidey cracks some really funny jokes, like calling him Sparkles.
Be like a god to them.
A god named Sparkles?
Anyway, the visuals are on point, and even though we may relate to Tobey Maguire a lot more, let's not forget that Andrew Spider-Man tanked a whole city's worth of electricity in the process of beating Electro.
Oh boy.
I hate this song!
I've got this completely under control.
Is that why everything's on fire?
Yes, our next entry has our very own Thor. Chris Hemsworth had already shown up in the Transformers entry, but smashing a giant rock dude like it's nothing is a much better display of badassery, in my opinion.
I accept your surrender.
Yes, we all know of the fan theories surrounding this being Korg's dad, but I'd much rather enjoy watching the God of Thunder absolutely bamboozling everyone with raw power. I mean, he even gave his opponent a chance to walk away. Arrogance got the better of him and turned him into pebbles. Man, this must have felt worse than Dwayne Johnson turning into Kevin Hart, and honestly, I feel this is a much better balance of sass and power for Thor than whatever they did to him in Love and Thunder.
Anyone else?
Perhaps next time we should start with the big one.
That all you got? Stings, doesn't it?
protected you in high school, now I'm gonna kick your little ass.
Entry number 8 sees the return of Bully Maguire to the TV region, and he's an absolute savage as always. I don't need to tell you how he is essentially the king of meme culture, but he also gets to show off his fighting skills without covering himself in the suit against his pal Harry. It was an easy win for sure, but the words must have stung his opponent more than any of his attacks, apart from that last Uno reverse.
You took him from me. He loved me.
No, he despised you. You were an embarrassment to him.
See, this is the difference between Tobey's Spider-Man and Tom Holland's Spidey. That kid was too soft to do anything about the Goblin bomb in No Way Home. However, our man doesn't just dodge the bomb, he makes sure to throw it back at Harry. The way he walked away was pure aura farming too.
Okay, he can't see me.
I can see you.
He can see me.
Hi, I'm Scott.
Did he just say hi, I'm Scott?
I'm a big fan. Appreciate it. I'm Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
What, you haven't heard of me?
Up next is a brilliant fight between Scott Lang and Sam Wilson. In other words, this is where an ant defeats a falcon. Nobody really expected much from Ant-Man, because what on earth is he going to do against an enemy other than shrink? We obviously didn't know about Giant Man, but Scott doesn't even need that here as he beats Falcon fair and square using his powers to the best possible degree. Naturally, he was underestimated, so that did play a role, but it's still a special achievement to defeat someone who works for the Avengers. If Steve Rogers ever found out about this, I'm pretty sure he'd ask Sam to return that shield.
Seemed like a really great guy.
It's really important to me that Cap never finds out about this.
Weapon X is loose.
Wolverine is late to the party, coming in at number 6, but hey, Weapon X is out and about, so we're in for a savage outburst. I'll maintain once again that this cameo would have been far more effective had they not shown us the adamantium claws in the trailer, but it didn't take away from the fact that Logan is an unstoppable beast when he's loose. This is Wolverine stripped of all logical thinking. He's a bare animal, and that's what makes his rampage so much more impactful than what we'd seen up until X-Men Apocalypse. He absolutely stole the show here in just a few minutes or so of screen time. My top 5 entries had to begin with this gem from Kick-Ass. Nick Cage is the real Big Daddy, and he justifies it not only with his crazed method of acting, but also with his version of a Batman warehouse fight. I like how we can see the bullets bouncing off him while he gets shot. It does give off the impression of being big and invincible, but at the same time, it also gives us an indication that he's not being defended by 80 inches of plot armor. Then again, knowing Nick Cage, he'd probably power up even after a fatal shot. But yeah, it's an awesome anti-hero sequence.
Who the hell is this guy?
I'm Batman.
Guys, stop. We gotta talk this through. It's good talk.
The Avengers have assembled for entry number 4. They're infiltrating the enemy's base here in Age of Ultron, and it's a great opening for a sequel. There's not one superhero being badass here, everyone is.
We really need to get inside.
And they do whatever they can in their own specific capacities to farm aura. Whether it's Captain America throwing the bike, Hulk with his brute strength, or Tony Stark just casually blasting henchmen away. It's a combination of the OG squad, which will forever remain iconic in the world of cinema. Man, it's so hard to believe that this movie actually came out 10 whole years ago.
It's like they're lining up.
Well, they're excited.
Find the scepter.
And for gosh sake, watch your language.
That's not going away anytime soon.
But it is our time. The sun is setting and the magic rises.
Lady, you are evil!
Here's a surprise from 2016 Suicide Squad for the next entry. El Diablo was already a pretty cool character, but now the flame is on, and that too with deadly intent.
Ahora sí, cabrón.
He didn't land much damage on Incubus in his normal form, so he shocked all the viewers with his freak transformation that turned him into a deadly monstrous entity. Yeah, for all the flaws and criticisms, Suicide Squad did have redeemable moments like this one because the fans kept coming back to the fight, proving its impact. But man, Incubus needs to chill. Enchantress just wanted him to make them bow to her, but Flamin' Bro straight up tried to end them all.
Blow it! Blow it.
No!
Get the chingaste away.
Hands! Guys, you do not want to do this, trust me.
Mask! Copy!
All right, have it your own way.
Mask!
Copy.
What the hell is that?
Alright, let's hear it for Venom one more time at number 2. He's dominated this video, hasn't he? And here he's swatting the SWAT team like it's a Sunday picnic. The instant transformation combined with the multiple poses he struck came together for a really badass display. Eddie may not have seemed comfortable with the idea of beating down the law, but there's only so much you can do when you've got an overpowered alien living inside you. The dominance was clear, and there was no way any of those guys were ever going to get one over Venom. They should just be thankful that our man didn't eat all of them. Then again, it was Eddie who made sure he didn't go completely out of control.
No, we do not eat policemen!
Topping today's list is our very own Iron Man, with some assistance from War Machine.
Oh man, you can have your suit back.
Tony, look, I'm sorry, okay?
Don't be. Forget it.
No, it's your fault. I just wanted to say I'm sorry.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear.
Both men are totally owning the fight, but not before they have a bit of a tussle themselves. Of course, once Rhodey was in control again, it became a display of mecha dominance, and I gotta say, this was a peak scene even though the movie didn't get as much love. If anyone's wondering why this scene is so much better than almost any other Marvel action scene in recent years, it's mainly because it was actually storyboarded and directed by Genndy Tartakovsky. Who's that, you might be asking? Well, he's the man behind Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack, and the Hotel Transylvania films. He's an absolute legend, and it shows in how perfect this fight against the Hammer Drone is.
Get down!
Hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to the TV region, and here's another video that I know you're going to enjoy.